Well, let's go ahead and get started, folks. Welcome this afternoon to this webinar, Heat Treat Tomorrow. I'm your host, Doug Glenn, publisher of Heat Treat Today, and this webinar is being presented by our friends at Eurotherm, a forward-looking company and a leader in the global heat treat market with experience in machine automation, data management, industrial Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, power control, and innovative solutions for pretty near any heat treating application you can find. With that, let's jump right into the first question. And unsurprisingly, it's going to be a question about COVID, believe it or not. It seems that there's been that COVID and the response to it has showed a real lack of manufacturing infrastructure for some countries, and many of those countries have vowed never to let that happen again. So here's the question. Will core manufacturing return to North America from offshore? And if so, in what capacity? And specifically, what resources such as skill sets like training and equipment knowledge will need to be supported if it returns? And finally, not to give you too many questions all at one time, will reshoring increase the need for commercial heat treating, or will we see it going back to captive? Dan Herring, why don't we start with you on this one?
Okay, gladly. Thank you, Doug. First of all, I think we can all agree that the global pandemic has fundamentally changed how we all do business. Across the globe, the quote-unquote lesson learned is one of self-reliance by necessity, especially in the areas of critical goods and services. What we discovered here in the U.S. was a lack of basic manufacturing capability and outdated infrastructure. Now, in my view, strong manufacturing growth will occur in this and coming decades as we add both capability and capacity. And yes, I know certain heat treat market segments may shrink. A good example, which we're going to talk about later, will be the impact of electric vehicles on the heat treating industry. But other markets other than automotive, will be strong, at least in my view. The military defense segment, medical, energy, aeronautics, astronautics, which is space or space exploration, industrial machinery and tooling. These will all be driven by unprecedented technical innovation and new materials, lighter weight structures, more power from smaller packages, 3D printing innovations, powder metallurgy and particulate metallurgy. These will fuel growth at unprecedented levels. Mm-hmm. To me, the commercial heat treat industry is best poised to take advantage of this growth. Mm-hmm. But rising tides, and no environmental pun intended here, will raise all ships, and captive shops won't be far behind. Yeah. So I see it as the 2020s will be a decade of recovery, self-analysis, growth, and very much a return to core competency. And you might ask yourself, well, where does that leave me, the heat treater? And my advice to the industry I love is simple. Innovate or abdicate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doug, back to you.
Yeah, thanks. Peter, what do you think? What do you think of that? Dan's response, your response, what do you think?
Yeah, so certainly from the manufacturing infrastructure perspective, we've seen it actually earlier with the semicon industry, because that's one of the markets that we serve. And they already have provided investments in North America to kind of shore up the national requirements here. But also we're seeing it in Europe because this kind of tightness of supply has been created from the Asia supply. I think, though, so we will get some more onshoring. So the volume of heat treating, and I agree with Dan, will start to pick up during this decade. But we do have some potential restrictions of being able to fully grasp that volume. And I think that's really going to be in talent and making sure we've got the operators and the technicians that can run the plant. And I think for the heat treat industry going forward, to maximize the returns, the attraction of talent is going to be key for this next decade. And I'd split this into kind of three main areas. Education at work. So what we do as far as training is going to be very similar to what we need for skills on the job. Technology is going to be there because we've got a lot of expertise retiring out the industry. So we've got to augment that expertise in youngsters coming in. And the third one is embracing sustainability. I'm Generation X, and sort of all the generations behind me are more switched on to sustainable thinking. And even 25 years ago, they were talking about this triple bottom line with people, profit, and planet. And I think that's going to become more of an issue going forward to be able to attract talent into the industry.
Yeah.
Back to you, Doug.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you, Gen Xer. We appreciate that. Let's go over to another baby boomer like myself, Janusz. I assume you're a baby boomer. Let's see what your perspective is.
Oh, thank you, Doug. I am very much for moving core manufacture to United States. We have every pieces here in United States to absorb these new technologies coming. We have a great furnace manufacturer. We have great commercial heat treating shop with a lot of flexibility, and probably United States commercial heat treating shops are the most flexible industry globally. Mm-hmm. So we are very well set to absorb the technology movement from whatever it is to for security purposes, to lower the cost. And if that is from economical point of view, I am very for to moving and establishing the facilities here in United States. What I am not against, what I am against to moving some assembly lines from Cambodia and Vietnam to Wisconsin and trying to assemble iPhones here, because there's no technology, there is just the labor and very, very hard labor. Mm-hmm. So from my point of view, if that is for security, CMTC manufacturing of chips, moving to Arizona, establishing a $20 billion facility, yes, absolutely. We have everything here in the United States. I believe also we have the knowledge here to absorb. Mm-hmm. We need to also understand that 94% or 96% of population is living outside of the United States, and 85% of goods and services are manufactured outside of the United States. So I'm very much encourage United States companies as Ipsen, to be active in the global market, because prosperity is built by exporting. Prosperity is built because you are active in different markets. So it's not cutting off your manufacturing and focusing only in the United States. You need a bigger market to survive today.
Yeah, very insightful, I think, as far as the international perspective goes. Thanks, Janusz. Appreciate that. How about Andrew? What are you thinking?
Well, thanks, Doug. I've been over the last 12, 18 months with the pandemic, what I've seen in the real world of what I deal with hands-on with the clients and the customers in the commercial and captive markets, I 100% agree that in the 20s, we're going to see this growth coming back up. The one thing that kind of stuck at me so far this year is the amount of facilities that are manufacturing parts and were outsourcing their heat treating to commercial shops are now saying maybe we need to bring this back in, because during the pandemic there was delays in shipments, and they're looking at the cost of quality. Now they can control the quality. My fear is, though, is what Peter touched upon, was the education. We are losing seasoned people out there that are good good heat treaters, and we're losing that. So bringing that fold back in of younger guys younger people into this fold will be imperative for not just the commercial guys, but these companies that are bringing back or want to start sourcing or they're doing their own heat treating. So that's what I'm seeing from, recently at least. I've been contacted many times of, hey, we used to send it to XYZ and now we want to do this, and try to educate them on what that's going to entail. So I am seeing a little bit more of people going back into the, trying to go into the captive heat treating market.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Very good. So guys, it sounds like we're all fairly optimistic about things coming back.